it again and again.
So I repeat, we are not going to take calls on this program. Now, Prayer No More Apostle want to pray for everyone. So if you're listening to us via the radio line 88.5 Voice of Grace Radio, or you're watching from the mainstream, from the media platforms, Facebook, or from the YouTube page, just get water close to yourself. If you're watching via your laptop, get water close to your laptop or your iPad or your phone, any means where you use watch us. Get water close to those materials where you use watch us. Then if na radio you dey listen, get water close to your radio. Apostle they can bless the water in a short time.
Attend to my prayer. Attend to my prayer. Send down your angel. Open door for me. Oh God, attend to my prayers. Open door for me. Open door in my business. I need a miracle. Attend to my prayers. I need a miracle. Open door for me. Open door in my business. Open door in my office. Open door in my school. Open door for me. Open door in my ministry. Oh yes, Lord. Open door for me. I need a blessing, Lord. Open door for me. It is time for my miracle. It is time. It is now. It is now. Open door.
Now time for we are connecting live to Apostle now for the program proper. Stay tuned.
There is no way. Open door for me. Where there is no way. You say no, the door shall be open for me. Seek and you shall find. I shall seek and find. I am crying before the Lord. Open door for me. Yes, attend to my prayers. Oh, my heavenly Father, open door for me. I am crying, I am weeping, my Father. Attend to my prayer. Oh, I need you now. Open door for me. Oh, yes, I know. Oh, yes, I know. I need a miracle, Lord. Change my story. Take me to the next level, Lord. Attend to my prayer. I am crying before you, Lord. Do not abandon your child. Oh, my Savior, open doors for me. Oh, my Redeemer, attend to my
Shalom and brethren. This is a beautiful time. I promise you I will be back here to pray with you. I just promise you I'm going to be blessing water for you. I'm going to be speaking over the waters. Clean water that you can drink. Very clean water that you can drink. That's what I told you to get, either in a rubber, or in a cup, or wherever. I just want to bless it, pray over it, and then you can partake on it. I want to assure you that if anything goes so bad around you, it will never be God. Never. It is not Him. He never sent bad things or evil against a nation or against people, especially in this generation or in this dispensation. This is a new dispensation where the gospel is reigning, where Jesus is reigning supreme. But He never promised us no challenge. We will always have challenges. That's what He promised us. So we're always going to have challenges. So challenges will come, but the challenges come does not really mean God is not is still God. God is still God. He did not send the challenges. He did not send the problem. But the biggest of all things is, though he didn't send any of these things, he's not in support of it. And he has the power to destroy it, but he will not jump in to destroy it. People had to invite him to come. Because when he made the world, he made Adam and gave Adam charge over everything. Adam handed over to his children, and the children pass it on to the next people. They pass it on to the next people, to the next people, to the next people. Then finally, it came to us, to our generation, from Adam. It is not God that gives people problem. He doesn't give anybody problem, by the way. And he helps people out of problems, indeed, when they invite him. I usually say this word to you at the time: God do not interfere in the affairs of men. What God does is to intervene. And God do not intervene uninvited. You invite him, he intervenes. And if you invite him without faith, he does not respond. You have to invite him, but so with faith. Then when you invite him with faith, he will respond and intervene. The moment he intervenes, solution comes. But if you're waiting and thinking that he will just interfere and just jump into the matter because you are such a good person, then you're wasting your time. Do you know that Daniel was a good guy? He was to suffer for being nice. He was cast in the lion of den, the den of lions, if you like. But Daniel was not saved because he was good. The Bible says, and Daniel believed his God, and there was no manner of hurt was found in him. No hurt. Why? Because he believes his God. So it was the faith of Daniel. There were quite people at the time of Daniel. They were righteous too. They were nice people too. But they died. Do you know why? They don't have faith, like Daniel had. If you can believe God, you will have no reason to be afraid. If you can ever believe God, there is no reason for you to be afraid. People fear because they don't want to believe God. That's what they fear. So I want to encourage you at this time that you need to gather yourself together and be strong in faith. The word of God is what you should believe more. There's a lot of things the government wants us to do, which I will encourage you to do, because even the Bible told us to respect authorities. We don't have to flout authority, we respect them. But we don't have to have faith in them. Our faith should be in God. We have to believe God, we have to respect authority, and we have to love our neighbors, people around us. These are principles we cannot avoid. Respecting authority, if they have told us we want you to be washing your hands, go ahead and do that. If they say we have placed an order today, wear mask, go ahead. Quite sometime January, I said people should buy masks. I am not really wishing this thing to enter here. We don't want it here. But we have to get prepared, should in case it comes. I told you guys, some of you, to buy masks. Some I say buy any hand gloves and keep them standby. I said it several times again because I know we are coming to that. But we are coming out of it. It's not here to stay. I told you it's dead on arrival. But we have to take precaution to obey every single rules the government wants us to obey. We work with it, not because those things are going to be the one that will protect us. But it has some roles to play in our life. Naturally, you have to be clean. But trust God so much. Do everything you are told to do. Observe everything you are told to observe. Obey everything you are told to obey. but have strong faith in God and His Word. In the midst of all these things, I want you to know that God exists and that God is bigger than all this and that God heals, God performs miracles, God protects doubtlessly. Let not unbelievers confuse you, make you begin to think that your God cannot do it. Or maybe this is beyond Him. Or somehow He chooses to be angry and mad at us and to punish us. It's not true. God is not here to punish anybody. You just have to understand that God has set the day of judgment apart. He does not judge before the judgment day. The day of judgment is coming. That day, when it comes, God will judge everybody. So don't ever think that, oh, God has started judging people now. No. Coronavirus is not hell. Hell is always going to be there. When the time comes, He will judge. Those who are going to go to hell will go to hell. Those who don't believe in Jesus Christ will be condemned. That one cannot be changed by anybody. But while we are here, we follow precaution by obeying the authority and whatever they say we should do, we are supposed to obey them. We are supposed to walk according to their directives. And after walking according to their directives, we have done the natural things. The supernatural thing we ought to do is to live, stand, and walk by faith and not by sight. Faith in the word of the living God and in the name of His beloved Son, Jesus Christ. You just have to have faith in this and we can triumph. You don't have to be full of fear. Strong and be courageous. Be bold and fear not, the Bible says. Beloved, we need defense on the inside and we need defense on the outside. We need to be fortified, protected from within and from without. It is the plan of God that we be protected. At this time, I want to really pray over that water in your hand, or near your radio seat, or before your camera, your house, or your seat, laptop, your screen, desktop, maybe before your phone. I want to pray over that water, and I want to instruct you what to do with the water by the grace of God. And I want to just make you feel the presence of God and to have faith in the Word of God and to have faith in God. And to know that if you believe, everything is still possible for he that believes. I'll bless that water at the moment. I want to share one testimony with you. One serious testimony I want to share with you. I was once playing football for my school. It's a particular day we went to play football. My uncle would not want me at all to go there to play. I was there. And you know what happened? Fell down, feet, somebody knocked me down. Yeah, I discovered that my foot had a problem. Somebody watching keenly told me it's like you have a crack in your ankle. The bones shifted and cracked. I could not walk. I used stick. It was on Friday. I used stick. I had to hold myself with a stick to manage myself back to my house. Eventually, I was living in another room, another house totally separate from where my uncle was. So he didn't even know what happened. I managed myself home. When I got to the house, I remember we have Holy Ghost service in the church that Sunday. What I did was manage myself with that stick. I couldn't bath. There's no way to go back. The foot are swollen already. Swell up, very heavy pain. I cannot match it on the floor. I can never match that foot on the floor. Never. In that pain, I was feeling severe pain. Very, very serious pain. It was tough for me. What I did was so simple. Talk to them privately. Say, I'm calling. Let's know where they are calling from. What I did was so very simple. I went to the service, the Holy Ghost service, and I was there, seated quietly. Then the man of God finished preaching, and he wanted to pray for the sick. The man of God wanted to pray for the sick. At this time, everybody was going out for prayer. I managed to enter the church from the back door by the choir stall, sat down on the chair from the rear with my stick by the side. Nobody knows what's happening, only me knows. When they said everybody should come out for prayer, since I was not far from the platform, I crawled on the ground, pretending to be so humble, but not humble. Just that I don't want people to know what happened to me. I cannot stand up, I can't use my foot. Crawl to the front platform when everybody was out. Man of God prayed for us for healing. You know what I did by faith? I rubbed my hand on the floor of the church, and there was dust in my hands. I rubbed that dust on that particular ankle, the place that had the fracture. My bones had problem. And I managed myself back, crawling, pretending to be fine. I crawled back to my seat from the rear of my stall. I sat down there quietly. Service went down normal. I was talking fine. When I wanted to go back, I managed myself. I backed the door and they used my stick. I walked through the bush path because I don't want anybody to ask me a question. Back to my house. It took me hours to get back to my house, but no problem. When I got back, I couldn't take my shower again. There's no way I could, I can't use my foot. But I was believing this God that I'm healed, that I'm free. Straight away, I'm telling you this, I'm not a man of God at this time. I am a believer, a member of a church, just like you. Just a young believer too, at the time, telling you this. I was just like 3 years in the faith. I easily went back to my chair, to my house, passed to my room, and slept. Guess what happened? In the morning, I did not know I've gone, take my shower, dress myself, wear my school uniform. I opened the door to go to school. And I turned my eyes to the left side of my door. I discovered that the stick I used yesterday was there. That is only when I remembered that I actually had a problem with my foot the day before. The foot had gone down. I don't feel nothing again. I don't even know that I ever had a problem. I got up on the bed around 6 a.m., quickly get my water, and take my shower very fast. I was going for a lesson in school. Early morning on Saturday. I did not notice that I was having nipple on my foot anymore. I was already healed. God had healed me that night after prayer, and it manifested just when I went to sleep. It mustn't happen to everybody the same way exactly. It depends on the level of your faith. But I share this testimony to encourage you to believe God. That you don't need anybody to push you to believe this God. You just need to believe Him because God is real. As you believe Him, He will always manifest His glory and show you Himself. He wants to show who He is, but He wants people to believe Him. As I bless this water, you just have to have faith in it. Faith in the power of God in this water after I bless it. And you're going to use this water by faith. And it will work in your life just because you believed. The Word of God is effective. The Word of God is powerful. The Word of God is truth. The Word of God is unique. The Word of God is real. There is nothing as compared as the Word of the living God. This is why I want you to stay 100% connected at this time as my prayer is coming down, start from up before the throne of God, coming down to you and to that water, presented by faith wherever you are. Power of God is coming on that water. Something good will happen when the power of God flows through it. It is blessed. Then you'll be guided on what to do and how to do it. Lord, we thank you for this water. You are the very one that spoke or does give instruction and the water became wine. And it served the purpose of wine. At the same time, you ordered, and by water, the eyes of the blind was opened. Even the spit of the mouth opened the eyes of the blind. You also ordered that we be washed ritually of baptism through water. It's acceptable as a cleansing by faith. I ask now in the name of Jesus that this water that's before thee, before the people at this time, become the water so full of faith. That is the full, but the faith in your name, faith in your word. Let this water be receptive, full of your presence, full of your power, to do wonders, to bring a lot of freedom, relief, breakthrough, reassurance, victory against the works of darkness, victory against sicknesses, against threats, fear, and negative dreams. Thy people have received news, hours in the past, threatening news as capable of sending them to having some negative and fearful dreams, threatening dreams, nightmares, and to create fear and pandemonium in them, and to throw the spirit in confusion. Fill this water, therefore, I pray, with your spirit of pureness, your spirit of victory, your spirit of joy, gladness, and happiness. Your spirit that will transform them, restore them, build them up, and make them stabilized and victorious. Your spirit that will establish them and conquer their enemies. The spirit that will overthrow their enemies and bring them to a place of fulfillment. That will preserve their life and keep them going longer. Let your power rest on this water. Fill it with your word. Fill it with your glory. Fill it with your anointing. Let this word that thou hast spoken, this thy word that made thee, that was thy mission that thou come to accomplish here on earth, flow through that water and be made manifest in their lives. The Bible says how God anointed Jesus of Nazareth with Holy Ghost and with power, and how he went about doing good, healing all who were oppressed of the devil, for God was with him. That was the anointing you carried, that was the job you did. And it was explained in the name of Jesus. It says, surely he had borne our griefs and carried our sorrows. Yet we did esteem him stricken, smitten of God, and afflicted. But he was wounded for our transgressions. He was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him. And with his stripes we are healed. And all we like sheep have gone astray. We have turned every one to his own way. The Lord had laid on him the iniquity of us all. In the name of Jesus, let this word saturate this water. Let this word manifest in our life through this water. May our griefs be carried away through this water. May our sorrows be carried away through this water. May our wounds be taken away through this water. Our transgressions never be remembered again according to the promise of God. May our iniquities never again be counted because of the promise of God. Never. May we find peace by the chastisement Jesus was chastised. Through this water, may we find fulfillment of this. And may we be healed according to the promise of God. May we live in health by the stripes of Jesus Christ. In our confusion, our wrong imagination, our negative dreams, and our wrong judgment and wrong conclusions, may we be led by the Spirit of God to the truth, to the right thing, in the name of Jesus. Water from today, you are now filled with the word. You now carry the word. Manifest this word wherever you touch, whether on the inside of the body, or on the outside of the body, or on the surface of anything, or within the house. Let this word soak there, let it manifest there, and crush everything that is against the happiness, the peace, the livelihood, the health, the strength, and the power of the people of God. We now announce that we are God's children, and we deserve to live happy. We deserve to live in peace. We deserve to live in joy. We deserve to live in liberty. That is the promise of God. It's not something we are asking for. It is something that we have been promised. And two immutable things that God cannot lie and that God cannot change. God has promised us once, and He will not change it. And He will not deceive us. Upon these promises, we are standing. And we are making a demand today that the promise is ours. It must be fulfilled. We believe it, and that settles it. In this water, we are affirming that we are claiming our promises from heaven. And heaven has never lied to us. It is done in Jesus' precious, mighty name. Amen. Beloved, stand on that scripture, Isaiah 53, from verse 4 to verse 6. Stand strongly on it. It's a promise to us. And we claim it. It overcomes the devil, witches, wizards, sicknesses. It overcomes all of them. We believe it. Use that water. Drink it. Drink part of it. Drink a little of it. And always drink it. Keep it. At least you drink it small until at least 3 days. Keep it drinking. And when you want to drink it, just thank God for the promise He promises. Just say, Lord, I thank you for your promise in our lives. We believe you that by your promises I am more than a conqueror. Stand on the promises of God, and you will be an overcomer forever. Do this at least for 3 days. Drink that water every day, first thing, and if possible, last thing. Drink it and be strong when you drink it. Our Lord, whom we serve, is faithful. He does not fail His word. He does not fail people that trust Him, and He will never fail you. Never. He will never ever fail you. As tiny as your faith is, God has accepted it. And I've joined mine with yours, and I assure you in the name of Jesus that you are safe and it is well with you. Shalom. You always see me early in the morning for a devotional. And you have a night of worship, some finest ministers of the gospel, they will be with you. They will sing through the night with you. You can fellowship with them. And sure, the Spirit of the living God will rest in your homes. That's what we need now. More than anything else, God's Spirit will rest in your homes and victory is yours. Stay connected. Do everything with them. Really feel as if you are in a studio with them. Feel as if you're in a church with them. Sing along with them and worship God. And see what God will do in your homes. If there's anything that's unclean there, it is dead already. Because God will flush it out. I love you so much, and we are always going to be with you. No matter what, we are going to stand by your side. Be sure that our God that we serve will not let you down. He's there with you now. God there with you back. 100%. Love you all. Once more, shalom. See you later. I'm coming again for devotional. Thank you.